Random House Audio presents The Sexy Years. Discover the natural hormone connection. The secret to fabulous sex, great health and vitality for women and men. Read for you by the author, Suzanne Summers.
I love being a grown-up. Yet as a woman, I've been programmed to dread this passage of life, the middle years, when I would become an over-the-hill, dried-up, bitchy, menopausal, sexless, useless, discarded, once attractive, no longer desirable, stringy-haired, wrinkly old lady. Well, that's what society tells us we'll become. No wonder we women have been on the constant search for that secret elixir. Anything promising the fountain of youth, whether it be the newest creams, potions, plastic surgery, or dream product that will give us just a few more years before the sentence of invisibility becomes our destiny. Make no mistake, growing up is not for sissies. Doing it well takes work. As with any worthwhile endeavor, the time you put into preparing for growth and change determines the outcome. You see, medicine is changing so rapidly that as individuals we must be proactive about our health in order to take advantage of the newest breakthroughs. We're not supposed to feel worn out. We're not predisposed to get the diseases associated with aging. We are supposed to be happy and healthy, and if we work at it, there's no reason we shouldn't be. All my life I have prided myself on being a person who looks at life with a positive spin. I have refused to be a victim, whether faced with an alcoholic father, a teenage pregnancy and subsequent divorce from the father, the struggles of single motherhood with no consistent job, a tangled affair with a married man, a catapult into stardom only to be cut short by a scandalous contract negotiation, a fight to regain my career, dealing with the complexities of blending two families into one, even a battle with a life-threatening disease. Through it all, I have searched for the lessons that life brings. My abusive father unwittingly taught me to fight and believe in myself, even when I felt no one else did. My son has been my greatest gift, and I believe he was sent to me to keep me alive through one of the most difficult periods in my life. An affair turned into my future husband, my lifelong partner and ultimate soulmate. The years I lived as a destitute mother have kept me grateful for all the blessings I now have in my life. When Three's Company ended, I was forced to look deep within myself and develop other areas of my career beyond being a television actress, as a stage actress, an author, a lecturer, and ultimately a brand name. The hard years of blending stepchildren have paid off as we now have a unified family that is my greatest joy, with 6 grandchildren. And cancer taught me about the enormous love that surrounds me, that I can overcome any obstacle, and to enjoy the sweet moments of each and every day. I wasn't looking for another life lesson, but you never know when they will arrive. Here I was, merrily handling the aging process and being grateful for the wisdom I gained in exchange for the crow's feet around my eyes. The children were grown with families of their own, and I had decided that this was going to be the best phase of my life yet. I would grow old gracefully and teach those around me that we don't have to dread this time of life. Then, suddenly, the 7 Dwarfs of Menopause arrived at my door without warning. Itchy, bitchy, sweaty, sleepy, bloated, forgetful, and all dried up. One by one, they crept into my own private cottage in the woods and started to take over my life. For me, the first to arrive was Itchy. Yes, I developed this itch on my right calf that was so irritating, I wanted to scratch the skin right off my body. Then Bitchy came to my door. No longer was my PMS contained to 1 or 2 days a month. It felt like constant PMS. Then I would swing from bitchy to weepy. For God's sake, what was wrong with me? Ding dong. It's the middle of the night, and Sweaty has crawled into bed with me. Oh, yes. Sweaty brought embarrassing hot flashes and introduced me to night sweats where it seemed as if a faucet had been attached between my breasts. Of course, Sweaty brought about Sleepy because I was tired all the time. I would wake up so many times in the night and not be able to get back to sleep. Bloated crept in slowly. My once svelte figure got thick through the middle section, even though I was following my weight loss program that had worked so well for so many years. I can't quite remember when Forgetful arrived, but one day my brain stopped working. I remember doing an interview and I couldn't remember a single question to ask. Am I getting Alzheimer's, I wondered? Last, all dried up, slowly encroached upon my happy marriage. This was probably the most unpleasant of the dwarf family. Sex was no longer on the top of my list, or on my list at all. My husband would give me that knowing look and I would think, frankly, I'd rather have a smoothie. Yes, menopause hit me like a ton of bricks, and I was completely unprepared. My mother certainly never talked about it. I had no training for this. Our mates are just as unprepared. At first, our men may be sympathetic, but they quickly tire of the complaining, worn-out rag of a woman formerly known as the love of their life. To alleviate symptoms, we seek answers from our doctors and get conflicting reports about hormone replacement therapy. Yes, it will take away the symptoms, but what are the risks? I don't want cancer, but I'm so depressed. Most conventional wisdom in our fix-the-symptom medical community leads women to synthetic hormones in combination with Prozac or Paxil, which is simply Prozac turned into a pink pill for women with PMD or menopausal symptoms to help them through this passage. This is not a cure by any means. So why, you ask, would I call this book The Sexy Years? Doesn't sound so sexy yet, huh? Because I have found the elixir. Yes, the juice of youth that has sent the 7 dwarves of menopause off to the coal mines never to return. I handled this crisis like every other one in my life. I fought for an answer that would work for me. I dug into research on the subject and talked to as many doctors as I could. One thing I've learned is that medicine is not black and white. No one doctor has the right answer for everyone. You must gather all the information and make the decision you feel is best for you. There are hundreds of ways to make brownies. You must find the recipe that you think tastes best. I've found my answer. What was it that sent those wretched dwarves packing? Natural bioidentical hormones. I've learned that natural bioidentical hormones are the secret to handling this passage of life. Not the synthetic hormones that only slap a Band-Aid on your menopausal symptoms and have garnered so much controversy in medical studies, and certainly not black cohosh and yams. Once I got my hormones balanced by actually replacing the lost hormones, I lost itchy. My mood leveled off and I lost bitchy. I got control of my body temperature and sweaty went away. With balanced hormones, sleepy disappeared and I recovered the glorious ability to sleep through the night. Day by day, my body slimmed down so I could say goodbye to bloated. I regained my sharp thinking, farewell, forgetful. And the look in my husband's eye returned with a wink and was lovingly reciprocated as I happily banished, all dried up. I'm going to share with you my journey so that you may find your own answers. I've interviewed cutting-edge doctors who have provided further information that natural bioidentical hormones are the way to go. This audiobook gives you a battle plan to conquer this beast and come out the other side with a victorious song of praise. It takes commitment to approach this time of life with grace, anticipation, and a willingness to really look at the truth about yourself, not only physically, but on an emotional level as well. The amount of work you're willing to put into this passage will determine your happiness quotient. But wouldn't all the work be worth it if in the end you knew your life would be the best it had ever been? Well, there's only one thing you need to know before we start. It's up to you. So come with me on this exciting journey. I want to share everything I've learned in my search for answers. This is exciting information that you can then pass on to your daughters, sisters, and women in general. And let's not forget about the men in our lives. Wait until you learn about male menopause, andropause. It's a very real passage that is highly misunderstood. We men and women are in this together, so let's help one another. Imagine that you can enjoy your sexuality today in a way that will make those early years of intensity, new love, and overwhelming magic seem like child's play. You know why? Because it was child's play. At my present age, the fears, the guilt, the embarrassment, and the worry no longer factor into my sexuality, because my life is on track emotionally and hormonally. I'm feeling frisky, and I want to tell you how and why. As I said, growing up is not for sissies. Achieving this bliss will require an honest look into the part you're playing in the drama of your life. It'll require you to take an honest look at how you're managing your health. Once you get your hormones in balance, we will look to see what behavioral patterns you have created that are preventing you from becoming your happiest self, which requires absolute truthfulness to yourself about yourself. This is a good place to start. This is where the healing can begin. These are the steps towards enjoying the sexy years. Cancer. The last words I ever thought I'd hear about myself were, "You have breast cancer." It was as though someone had dropped a load of lead on my head. I felt stunned. This is something that happens to other people, I thought, not.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?